Howdy ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Texas Victory Garden. My name is Jared. In this episode we'll be looking at how to plant eggplants via transplants. What we're going to do is take a small cup like this and we're going to fill it up about halfway with seed starting mix like this one here. And the reason we're doing the seed starting mix is because the small seedlings, they need really loose soil to be able to grow those roots out. So once we plant about 2 to 4 seeds in this container, keep it consistently watered, either watered every day or every other day, as long as it stays saturated so those seedlings come up. And they'll come up in about a week or two. Here's some eggplants that I planted approximately, most of them I planted about approximately 2 to 3 weeks ago. I did plant some of them, all these 5 to 6 weeks ago, but I only had about 3 of them come up. As you can tell, this one right here, this one here, and I think one of these back here came up initially, and the other ones didn't come up, so I had to reseed. I left those 3, so this one's probably maybe 5 weeks, something like that, old. The rest of them are about 3 weeks old. Some are still just coming up. It all depends on how deep I planted. I've cut away a lot of the seedlings already, the extra seedlings. Usually I plant 2 to 4 seedlings in each container, and then I'll go ahead and thin them out. So most of them I've already thinned out. This one right here, as you can tell, I haven't thinned out, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this seedling away. And once I do that, just leave it there, the seedling that I cut down, and then I'll fill up to the base of the leaves. I'll fill that up with my soil, my loose soil. And once I do that, then this whole base trunk of the eggplant will put new roots out into the new dirt that I put in there, so that when we go to do our transplant these eggplants into the garden, that our roots are nice and mature and strong, so that they can withstand the transplanting of the plant. Once we've picked out which seedling we want and have 1 seedling in each container, and put soil in as far as we can up until the base of the leaf or the top of the container, we're going to go ahead and water them. And what I like to use is a turkey baster. You can buy this at a grocery store or at a kitchen supply store. And what we're going to do is go ahead and get some water, and we're going to put it at the base of the plant, not putting any water on the leaves because they're really delicate at this point. So you want to do is least amount of damage to the plant as you can. So just do this to all your plants, all the containers. Get it nice and saturated so those roots will begin to grow. It's been about 6 weeks or so since I planted these eggplants. They're about anywhere from 3 to 6 inches tall, and so they should have a good root structure and be ready to be transplanted. One of the most important things when you're transplanting any plant is to decrease the stress level whenever you're transplanting from your container into the garden itself. One of those things that really stresses the plants out is going to be the temperature. So right now it's mid-July, so the temperatures are running in the high 90s, heat indexes of 110, 115. So even though eggplants are a warm weather plant, I'm not going to plant them in the middle of the day because that will stress them out. So the best thing to do is go ahead and plant them in the evening time, and that way they have all night to just kind of get used to the soil and let those roots get lots of water in them. So right now it's probably about 8 or 9, probably 8 o'clock in the evening, and the sun's just now setting, so I want to go ahead and plant them right now. What you're going to do is go ahead and do your hole. So these are going to be 1 foot apart, spaced 1 foot apart. Now you want to go ahead and take your container and you kind of push it on either edge, on opposite edges. That's going to loosen up that soil. Okay, and then you hold it with 1 finger on this side and the other fingers on this side, so you're holding the trunk of the plant. Flip it over and just kind of shake it. Hopefully it'll loosen up. Okay, so it's loosened up. So you can see all the little roots that have formed from this plant. There's all kinds of roots in there. So we're gonna go and take this and set it gently into the our hole here, and we want to try to cover up till the base of the leaves. That way, all this area right here that doesn't have roots on it right now, once I cover up with dirt and begin to water it, I'll have roots growing there. And the more roots you have, the more root structure you have, the stronger the plant's going to be. So I planted 8 eggplants and watered them in, and here's what they look like once you've done that. As you can tell, they're 1 foot apart, 1 in each square foot.